Hey guys, I have a great video for you. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not an expert at this. Not yet. It is a new thing to me, but I was watching this tutorial and I thought, you know what? I can do that and I can do one better. So, I'm going to take my ribbon. Okay, there's your, and I would recommend the Y kind of ribbon that has like the stiff wire sides, because it's much more prone to keeping its shape. I mean, you certainly don't have, you can use any kind of ribbon really, but I would recommend this type. So the first thing you're going to do, let me pull this up here. All right, is take your little ribbon, just pinch it close and use the wires to sort of just kind of twist it a little. That will help it keep its shape. And you're going to put it under, oh, hold on a second. There we go. Take your zip tie. Now you don't have to use a zip tie for any of these. You could use pipe cleaner, yarn, you know, whatever. I recommend the zip tie in the beginning because the zip ties, and I'm trying to do this so that it doesn't poke out at the top, because I don't want that to do that. I want it to be at the underside. Yeah, see, that's what, oh, that's it. Just gotta figure out, there we go. There we go, got it. But because I pinched these together like this, I don't have to worry about it coming apart on me while I'm trying to do this little tricky part. Now, as this gets tighter, I would recommend sort of tucking it under a little bit so that when you clip it, it won't show as easily. And I'm just gonna pull this toward the end a little bit. You don't want to leave, you want to leave about an inch maybe at the end. And yeah. And I would recommend these instead of scissors. This little tool. I think they call them wire cutters or something of that sort. They're much easier than running your scissors. I would clip it about an inch, maybe a half. Yeah, actually, you know what? I take that back. About a half, an inch to a half. There we go. That's about a half inch. Okay. And I just tuck that under there, because eventually the bow will cover it up. In fact, you know what? I'm going to clip it even closer. Hold on. There. That's more like a half inch. Okay. Now all you got to do is grab your ribbon and just pull it through. Ta-da. And this is why this kind of ribbon is really good, because you can kind of mold it. Now, the tutorial I watched, she had a different kind of a wreath, like it had more sections to it. She called them like the. I'll try to put her tutorial in the link as well if I can. I'm not sure. Sometimes the technology part of this sort of thing kind of escapes me a little, but I'll try to put a link to her tutorial in it as well, because it was really good. It was really good, and it sort of taught me a little bit so that I could teach others, you know, that kind of thing. Now you can do a third loop even though I don't have another one. You could, but it's kind of weird because you really need another section. So, but that's where this part comes into play. Can you guys hear my cat meowing? He does not like it when I close my door to my studio. He doesn't care for it. All right, so I'm gonna pull this over. And I'm going to find the zip tie that I had originally and kind of put it near that. Sometimes it's a little tricky here, so they can sort of build off each other. Now, I want to preface this before you do this other part to make sure, before you pull it like as tight as it can go, you want to pull it part way, but make sure that I'll flip this over. Make sure that this part is how you want it. In fact, I'm just going to leave it up for now so you can see. Kind of fluff it out a little bit so that it's kind of how you want it, so that it covers up that bottom ring. Because I just don't feel like messing with trying to go around that. Okay, so once you realize you've got that the way you need it, go ahead and pull it tight with your wire cutters. Clip that off. Alright, let's flip it back over and move this stuff out of the way. Now, I've got to cut off, grab me oldie scissors and sort of cut off some of this ribbon because it's still attached to the roll and everything. Make sure this is the way I want it. Always double check your loops before you do anything, just to make sure it's still the way you want it to, because it can sort of slide out of whack. All right, now before you cut the ends of this, I would suggest folding the ends together like this. All right, and cutting at a slant. That way it's kind of neat. So if it shows, it's not like... And you can also wrap these around the wreath just for extra stability. It's a little messy, but I'm gonna fix this, you'll see. So, now that you got your little thing the way you want it to, got your wreath bows all kind of spread out. Ta-da. Make sure they're nice and even if that's what you like. I'm a little so OCD about things like that. Now here's where I took what she did and I just sort of said, hey, I'm gonna do this. And you don't have to use, I've got a ton of these things lying around for Lord only knows why. And I'm gonna just take it and run it through here. And you can use like little mini ornaments. Ta-da. Got that, and just center it the way you want it to. I've got it on that middle row here, and just bring it around. I'm looping it deliberately over this part just for added stability. And I apologize, sometimes I fumble with things a lot because of my arthritis. Sometimes it's hard for me to like grip things, you know, so it sucks. That's all I'm gonna say. And just twist and twist and twist. I call these the twisties because I had a prolonged senior moment, and I was like, I could not remember what they were called. I know, it's like, duh, right? And it's like, oh, bike glider, yeah, that's it. Twisties. So I don't know. I kind of like the twisties name. Now, as you can see, I can still move this around, so I don't got it as tight as it could be. So I'm just gonna flip it back over so you guys can see. And it just takes a little bit of and the key, you can do that. I don't find that that's really necessary. And this is also a good point where you can sort of, I think I'm gonna untie this actually. Yeah. People can't see it. See, ta-da, and nobody's the wiser. Just fluff it. Take your wire cutters. Make sure you've twisted it as tight as you go. And just kind of bring it in. Move my little tree out of the way here. Ta-da! I love my little tree. I got it at this amazing nursery up in Timonium. Oh, it's where I live, and near where I live. And oh my gosh, they have like all these Lennox scenery things. It's just the most magical place. It's absolutely magical. Tuck that in so people can't see. Now you can clip this off but I just put it inside. I just tuck it inside it. There. What did you guys think? How's that? See? Now you can move this around if you want, just a little bit, because it still should be able to be moved a little bit. And there you go. I think I put that one a little too high maybe, but yeah, you know, I'm just being OCD. There it is. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. Okay, so here's another fun thing you can do. Now this is the stuff you got to be careful with. What I would suggest, and again, you have to be very careful because you can just, you know, set stuff on fire. And if it does a little, it's okay, but just after you kind of trim your stuff off like that, take your, children do not do this at home. And just kind of, assuming your thing doesn't want to quit going out. And it kind of melts it, so it stops it from fraying. You have to be careful though, because if you do too much, then see how it starts to turn black? You don't want that either, right? But what that does is it just kind of melts it just enough that it won't continue to just freaking, you know, keep fraying on you, and you don't set off your smoke detectors. But that will help tremendously, promise you. Make sure it's not hot or anything like that. See, and it'll feel like stiff, like kind of stiff on the end. You just have to really mega careful when you do that. Frustrating at the same time. Jordan Sparks, that chick is amazing. She's a Christian too, as is Carrie Underwood. There's many American Idol contestants back when it was worth watching that are believers. It's pretty cool. You know, and as a side note, I'm a football fanatic, and the number of players I hear professing Christ is just blowing my mind these days. Half of my Baltimore Ravens teams, I think, are Christians, especially the head coach. You know, now you can do 2 or you can do 3. It doesn't matter. You know, you just sometimes it gets out of hand like that. See, and then you're just like, argh. And then you kind of have to start over. It's like, I got terrible hands, so you just kind of start over. Just have to be careful though. This stuff is so ridiculously fragile. There. I think I like that. Ta-da. Okay, see, I like that. So, what I'm going to do, a red zip tie. I have green ones. Wrap that around. It's hard to believe, like, Christmas is only a couple days away. It's just like, wow. I know this wasn't like the time he was actually born. Like, they theorize it was probably late spring, because they wouldn't have been traveling during the dead of winter. It just wouldn't have been done, not even for Caesar. So it's probably late spring, but either way, you hear my kitty. So now one thing you can do with this, if you really wanted to, is like add an ornament, but I don't, so I'm just gonna take my little thingy and just find where I want it to be. Let's see where I do want this dough in the middle. Yeah. Oh, and I haven't cut the other end off yet, but I'm gonna do that last. It's still sort of attached to the roll. And you just pull it through. I mean, really, as hard as you can. Now, you can either clip off the ends here, this end piece right here, or you can use it to attach other things, you know, like this, for example. I mean, because I have this middle part here, I'm not going to add anything. So I'm just going to wrap this around. I'm going to clip this, and I'm going to use my scissors because this stuff is pretty fragile. It's a little messier, but now what you want to do is take your little zip tie, not zip tie, wow, words are hard. And since I didn't use anything in the middle, I'm just going to re-secure this. See if you guys can see. And I'm going to cinch it when I'm done. Be careful if you have cats or small children. This stuff can be a bit of a choking hazard. So please, just if you're doing this around children, please be careful. Okay, that's just. And I'm also going to take this and wrap it around that a little bit more, just one more time, I think, for extra security. There. I really don't want to go anywhere, especially if you're going to hang this on that side of your door. All right, now I'm going to show you once again, but please be careful. And watch for the plastic to start bending. Just do it very carefully. And you can actually see where it's meltable, and that's kind of what you want. You just don't want it to turn black. Because then, then even though it's in the back, it looks ugly. There, see? And all I did was just hold on to that and just do it again. I may just snip it and be done with that. These things are a really good thing if you do a lot of wreath making. And because it's the same color as the bow, I'm just gonna take your back side of this here and just tuck it under. Make sure nothing falls off. Just kind of bend it under. There, see? Ta-da! Check that out. See what I mean? Isn't that cool? I thought you guys would enjoy that. Now the other thing that I wanted to say is if you want to, you can always add things like this. Like I got this at the dollar store. And you could just, wrap some of that around. You know what? I might just do that. Hold on, people. We're going to do this live and see what happens. You guys are going to be my guinea pigs here. There. Amazing the things you can find at the dollar store, yeah. Okay, so I learned that tears pretty easy. So what I'm going to do is clip off some of this. I don't need a lot here. And I'm just going to do this. So I won't need to pull it too tight because it's not like securing, it's not being used to secure it. So it shouldn't like need to be super tight. And plus it might disguise that the end of that bow, which is a little bit long in my opinion. I think I made it just a little too long. Okay. Let me get my fingers. There we go. Now if you want, you can secure that, but you know, with like a little zip tie or something like that. What I would do, because you have to be really careful, this stuff is fragile. I have learned that. You know, I might even actually be able to tie this. I don't know. Let's try it. And I'm gonna move my counter before I burn my house down. Yeah. Well, it is twistable. You just gotta. So there is some metal in it, but it's like really cheap metal. So you can twist this. I got this at the dollar store. And that way you can secure this as well. Let's turn it back over. Ta-da. Oh my gosh, what do you guys think? Let's pull that aside. What do you guys think? Ta-da! So, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video and the little tour of my room. It's not much, but you know, I try to have fun. I love how this came out. I couldn't wait to show you guys. It was fun. So, alright, anyway, Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you stay safe, blessed, and may the peace of Christ dwell in you richly. Bye.